here's the build for Syndra. Now let's get into the video. Yo, what's up guys, it's Talon. So today we're going to be talking to you guys about the best mid laner in the patch. So I did talk to you guys about Syndra, a week or two ago. I made a video on her, but now that the new patch has dropped, I wanted to kind of show you guys that she's still really the best mid laner on the patch. The only champion you can maybe say contests her is Victor, and you're going to see us laning against a Victor. So I'm kind of going to show you how the early and the later parts go against one of the other strongest mid laners in the game and talk a lot about just how to play this champion. So basically, the main thing for Syndra is understanding how to punish last hits. So make sure that you wait for your enemy to go for a last hit onto a minion, and as they walk up, you're going to punish them by hitting a first ability. You can see here, I know he's going to last hit that minion because it's low health, so I just auto-aim my first ability after target locking on him, and I guarantee the hit. You're going to see me continue to do this every time. Again, he walks for it, so I guarantee the hit. Now, you're going to lose the trades to Victor early game. And some champions, you'll lose trades to. But ultimately, your goal as Syndra is simply to get your stacks. So the way you get stacks is just by hitting people with abilities, and your main goal is to at least get 40 stacks by the first objective, because if you do that, then you're going to get your first ability upgrade, and it's pretty easy to do. You can do it if you're just landing these spells like I am. You see every time they walk up for a last hit, not only am I hitting that, but I'm also getting my first strike procs, which helps me with a bit of gold, so it's also nice that way. And so the goal is just to not die in the early game and then just poke people out. In a lot of lane matchups, you're going to be able to poke them, and you're going to be able to outpoke them because you outrange. But Victor is one of those few matchups where you're going to still lose the trades a little bit, but it's fine, like I said, because you're just going for that passive. And if you don't know as well, every time that you level up and you upgrade an ability, you get 4 stacks on your passive as well. So doing that, ultimately, usually you're going to end up going for a recall around mana boots, usually when you have around 900 gold like I do here. Now in this situation, I end up just staying up. You can see the Sweet Tooth also helps with the gold a little bit, the income. So you have the Sweet Tooth plus Siege Jar combo so that you can get a lot of value from your runes in terms of gold. You have the first strike for more gold, so you're going to really be able to accelerate your gold as well for kind of scaling there. And you see, again, we just use our nice little combo. Your first ability, then you use your third ability to knock the ball towards someone. If it hits the ball, it will knock them it'll stun them basically. And so that's a really good combo that you're going to see me utilize later in the game as well. And so again, you can see the early lane phase is really just all about exactly what we said there. Just farming, getting your stacks up, poking the enemy, pretty simple stuff. We are in a decently high elo lobby, like a lot of these players are pretty solid, like challenger, peak players, and whatever. So, we're playing against people who actually know what they're doing. I'm duo with the Rammus as well, but yeah. So these are some of the main things for the early game. It's just punishing enemy last hits, playing around your stacks, and then trying to find a recall near mana boots. So here, I'm recalling a little bit later than normal, but I'm still ending up getting that recall. And then this is the nice wave clear combo. I didn't do it perfectly here, but you can wave clear really quickly if you just, especially once you have your first ability evolve, which gives you 2 stacks on your first ability, so you can use your first ability twice. You can use first ability when they get all grouped up, then the second ability right after when they're still grouped up, and then your first ability again, you're going to clear an entire wave, and you'll see me do that later in the game. I'll point it out when it happens as well. But again, those are going to be the main things you're looking for early game. Then once you get into the later parts of the game, in the mid game and everything, you're really looking for those pick angles with your first plus third ability combo, and then trying to one-shot someone with your ultimate or your ignite or whatever. I think now is also a good time to talk about the spells, because there's a lot of choices for spells that you can use right now. So Ignite, I really like when I'm trying to actually potentially win a lane or have kill pressure on my laner. Exhaust, I'll go into a lot of assassins for obvious reasons. Barrier, I'll go if I just need something defensive and they have a lot of poke. I can go for Ghost if I just want to kite someone, so if they have a lot of champions that are, really weak to kiting. For example, Mundo, Renekton, Darius, any kiteable champions like that. And then lastly, you can go Cleanse when they have a jungler who has a lot of CC especially. So whenever I'm against a Vi, I'll go Cleanse because it'll save my life. I had a different game where I went Cleanse against a Vi. It saved my life. You're going to see here what I'm going to try to do and not do successfully is use my first ability, then immediately click the evolve on my first ability, and then get those additional 2 stacks for 3 really quick first abilities. Now you saw that I missed them all, just barely, but the point is, the combo that you can do. So basically, if you have the evolve, you don't actually evolve until you use your first ability, because then you can click it and immediately get 2 free first abilities. So just a small little thing there as well. But overall, a pretty slow early game. That's why we went through just a lot of the basics of Syndra. The reason she's so strong right now is just her really good scaling and burst damage. And she has really good sustained damage too. She's really good into all types of champions. Her scaling with the, once you get 100 stacks especially, and then you have that execute on your ultimate, and then especially when you get 120 stacks, you're just going to become really OP. Even on, the early game, you're pretty good too. But the main kind of goal of Syndra is hitting 2 items by second dragon and 3 items by third dragon. And then if you're at 3 items plus full stacks, or at least 100 stacks buy the third dragon, you're going to be really, really happy. Even if you don't get there till Soul, or till Elder rather, you're still going to be pretty happy. And so again, you're going to watch here the wave clear combo that I was talking about. Notice how I group all of the things up. Now we just kill them really, really fast. So I do it with my third ability. Now I have free reign to roam while they're stuck clearing the mid lane. Now they end up not contesting us, which is fine. Then you can see we use the value from, you can use the Extali Siege rune to do things like grab that sweeping lens, and then you can grab a second sweeping lens to look for vision. So you saw how I found their word in that bot bush there. And then again, look at that wave clear combo, literally one-shotting it so that I can go help my team now. So it's really, really nice in that regard as well, having that ability to wave clear so quickly. And I'm already going to be on my Infinity Orb now if I do recall. I am going to look to roam with my teammates since they're there. Obviously, I want to see if I can follow up with them. And I believe Rammus does go in. He finds the taunt onto the Wukong there, and so we end up trying to kill the Wukong. But he does get the Shen ult from him, so that honestly was pretty surprising. Didn't really think about that. And so now we're just trying to see if we can land spells onto the Victor. I think I end up ulting him and killing him. So he ends up dying to this set. But yeah, we end up ulting him, so that's good there. And then now we're just pretty much sitting here. And again, a lot of the reasons that I was able to roam so long and then eventually get this kill on the Shen as well is all really because of the fact that we were able to wave clear so quick and out roam the Victor. So that's a really nice thing that you can do because of your wave clear. And then eventually we're going to get that kill there, as you're going to see. So that's really nice as well. Unfortunately, Zeri rotates, ends up killing our teammate. I have to flash out. Not the end of the world. But you can see how quickly the Seed Jar plus Sweet Tooth combo can heal you. You saw I went from half health to basically full health, and I got 90 gold from that. So that's a really nice thing as well. I did end up recalling just because I wanted to spend my gold anyway, but that's a nice thing you can do. This game as well, I messed up my itemization. I should have gone for anti-shield second item, so that was a mistake by me that you're going to see. I'm going to like fix that later. Because I end up building a pendant, and then I realize, oh, I need trident, so I get trident on the recall after that. But yeah, you can switch your second item to whatever fits the situation if you need. You can go Ocean Eye Trident when they have as much shielding as the enemy does in this game. You can go for the Soul Stealer like I usually would do. Or really whatever you feel is going to fit the game, you know, that's up to you. But typically, this is the build. We talked about the build. We show you the screenshot of the build in the start of the game. So again, I'm trying to look for a stun here on him, seeing if I can do anything, but can't really, so we end up just trying the wave clear instead, which, you know, is fine. The nice thing too about Syndra is you don't have to do anything crazy. You saw how this was a pretty, you know, kind of smooth early game, just pretty relaxing. Like there wasn't really much going on, you know, just farming. And then whenever there's the ocean map as well, you just go around collecting this fruit, you get that additional gold. It's kind of like a cheat code. I mean, I've had games where I get like 2,000 plus gold for my runes. I have Seed Jar plus First Strike. I'm literally getting 2,000 gold some games. Just that's an item, or almost an item. That's like over half an item, which is pretty crazy. And so you can see I'm 6.1k gold versus 4.7k for Victor, and that's really the objective here. You can see I have the most gold in the game right now, and that's my goal. I don't care the most about, you know, helping out my team. I do want to roam, and you saw I pushed really quickly and roamed, and I did make some plays and, you know, get our team a little bit ahead in the early game. But at the end of the day, I'm really focused on just going to my lane, clearing the wave, grabbing the fruits, using those to sustain. And then after I push the wave, if I see an opportunity to roam or help my team or do whatever, then I'm going to do it. But I'm not going to force things. The nice thing about Syndra is you have really good wave clear, so you can stall games out really nicely too. You can just keep poking people. You see all that poke we get, and then we end up killing that Victor completely. Just from first ability, third ability, then a second first ability onto him, second ability ultimate, he just dies. Like you see that absurd burst damage that you can get, and that's because I'm able to accelerate myself through the Sweet Tooth, through proper laning, getting my stacks up, getting that gold, getting the recalls on stuff like Infinity Orb, whatever. And then we end up rotating now that we have the advantage there, because we killed the person, obviously, so we end up getting that kill onto the Zeri as well. I believe we end up killing Yuumi too, but then the Shen pops out of Yuumi. Usually it's the other way around where Yumi's popping out of someone else, but you know. Anyways, I'm just getting more stacks here as we try to kill everyone. Again, pretty straightforward here. Now that I have my balls on the ground as well, didn't mean to say it like that, but I'm just trying to look for a stun or anything like that, if I can land it on someone, which we do end up landing onto the Wukong there. And so you can just see the amount of power you have. You can roam really well. You can burst people down. You have that wave clear. You have the scaling. You pretty much have everything, and that's why this champion is just so OP, in my opinion. Some people think Victor's better. Victor is really strong, but I just don't think Victor has these, you know, I don't think that, one, his wave clear is not quite as solid. Two, his range is solid as well, but I just feel like you can oppress people and lane a lot more as Syndra most of the time. And then I feel like the scaling is pretty similar on both these champions, which is why, to me, they're pretty much 1A and 1B in a lot of ways. But But I don't know, the overall burst damage that you can get onto a squishy or onto a carry just feels a lot higher a lot of times as Syndra. But like I said, Victor's really good too, so I'm not really knocking Victor. He's a very strong champion as well. But here we're trying to find the pick on a Victor. We didn't end up seeing him, so we're kind of just sitting over the wall. This is another thing you can do a lot. Sit over the wall like I am here. Just look for a pick on someone like I did. We end up trying to burst down this area. She doesn't quite die, but you can see that's what you're always trying to do. You're trying to position yourself in team fights over walls in places where the enemy might not be able to see you. You get the jump on them with that first ability plus third ability combo. For the quick stun, drop your second ability on them, ult them right after. If you have another first ability, use that as well. And you could one-shot a lot of people, especially when you hit 3 items, even on 2 items. And then again, use that wave clear combo. Literally one-shot that wave in -2 seconds. Grab more fruit, print free money, you know, love that as well. I'm up 3k gold on this Victor, just like it's nothing. He's not even a bad player too, like he's a pretty decent player, and he hasn't really made any like crazy mistakes this game. We're just out roaming him, we're out pushing him, we're poking him, we're getting our stacks up, and I'm already on 88 stacks as well. Just 12 more stacks, and I'm able to get that ultimate execute as well, which is really, really nice. I end up grabbing their fruit as well, just hitting that. And then look at this one shot on Victor. He's going to end up stasising, but look at the amount of damage that I got on him there. I mean, I'm perfectly fine with getting his stasis out like that, 100%. So you can just see, again, the burst damage is absurd. You do really well in the tanks too. You can go stuff like Leandri's if you need to into a tank. You really don't have any weak matchups, honestly. Like, I haven't really found a bad matchup for Syndra. I think Victor seems like one of the harder matchups. I would say probably the hardest matchup is Echo, honestly. The reason Echo's kind of hard is because he can sort of jump through your like knockback if he does it well, and he can get on top of you. But even into Echo, I mean, you can still poke him out in the early game, especially level 1. You can take advantage of that. You can still one-shot him through the stun, and a lot of times he can't get his ultimate off if you stun properly. And you're still going to scale up and be able to pop off against the rest of his team. So even those types of champions, you know, assassins are fine. So you're probably assassins are overall the worst type of match for Syndra, but she's still fine into them. And then into other mages, she has amazing range, so she's usually good there. Into, you know, tankier champions, she can just farm free stacks, which you're happy about, and you're just going to melt them in the late game. So really don't have bad matchups overall is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Again, literally one-shot the wave, absurdly broken. Rammus ends up going in, gets the cleanse out from the Zeri. The Wukong goes on us, but we're perfectly fine. We just kite backwards. It's really nice too. Your abilities make it so you can kite back really easily because you don't have to stop while using your abilities. So like you can literally just continue moving. You see that damage we end up getting onto the Shen with our ultimate. End up killing him. Already 5-0 in this game. Just again, it's actually a pretty slow game. There's only been 14 kills in 12 minutes, which is lower than normal, I would say. But now we just go and force the Baron since we killed their jungle. And I'm just looking over the wall. You can see again how I'm positioning over a wall. I'm trying to see if I can grab anyone. Then I see that they're backing off. So I'm like, okay, let me just, you know, let me just start going on to Baron, just dealing the damage there. I want to go for this bot wave to get death cap. And you can see death cap at 13 minutes. That's extremely fast. We're just having a really good game so far. And now I'm going to take a sip of water. But yeah, at this point now, again, when you're at this point, you hit the death cap. You're at your 100 stacks. So you have your ultimate upgrade. Your main goal now is just not die, and then anytime your teammate makes an engage or does something or someone goes on you, just use your basic stun combo as we spoke about, and then just one-shot someone. Like, that's pretty much the goal, and then kite back until your abilities are off cooldown. Pretty much all you have to do. So here, you're going to see we're going to try to kill Victor. Unfortunately, my teammate takes the kill. I mean, he deserved it, but, you know, I like KSing. I wanted to take it. And then Zeri is coming here, so I kind of have to back off. But you can see how I can still try to poke out the Zeri as she's coming here because I can use abilities while running away. And so they don't end up catching me. I end up getting the stun onto all of them there. And then the Sweet Tooth heals me right back up to full. Just, it's crazy, this rune combo. Like, I really, really recommend the rune combo that you guys saw in the beginning of the video. A lot of people like other runes. I don't think there's a better rune option than this. That's just my opinion. But we try to get the stun on the Zeri. Don't quite get it, but it's fine. And then we're going to grab our stasis now. Usually after 3 items, I like grabbing stasis because, again, the 3 items is really the main spike for you. Unless you end up needing some specific item for whatever reason. But usually after 3 items, it's just like, okay, let me grab a stasis. Let me be safe. And then if I can get more items after that, obviously I'm happy. So you see, I just recall here. Right before the dragon as well, playing for this soul. Soul is going to be very important for us. And yeah, we end up going Soul Stealer. If I were to rebuild here, I wouldn't go Soul Stealer till 5th item. I would go Crown 4th item, because like I said, the Trident was needed on 2nd item, but that's a specific to this game scenario, just because they have the Zeri stealing all of our shields, plus the Shen shielding, the Yuumi shielding. I mean, they have so much, so I still ended up getting the Trident 2nd item, you know, so it worked out fine, but like I said, would have been slightly different there. And now we're just trying to poke them if they do go. I end up just smiting that for my team because we were just trying to predict the guy going over the wall or anything. And so they go pretty deep. So again, we just get that damage. Look at that absurd damage, by the way, like over half health just from 2 abilities. I'm trying to get the jump on Zeri here, which you see that I end up doing. And so that was kind of nice positioning by me. Again, notice how I'm using the walls really effectively, right? Like nobody can actually get to me. And if they do, it doesn't matter. I'm going to blow them up and one-shot them, as you saw with the Wukong. And maybe, you know, I need to flash or stasis. But you just see that positioning is really important. Like utilize the walls, utilize your range, and the fact that your abilities go over walls really effectively, and you can carry a game like this. So I know sometimes people like seeing the end screen, so we'll try seeing if we end up showing the end screen here as well. But that's basically it for Syndra. Again, if you're interested in coaching, as always, just DM me on Discord, Talon1169, or through the link in the description of my Discord server. You can see here, surprisingly don't get the MVP. Shout out to Set for getting that, but you can just see here the overall damage. I think we'll end up seeing, so we don't show the damage. Doesn't matter. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.